DeSean Jackson getting a head coaching job in college football. He goes to Delaware State with, I mean, I'm going to call it limited, but I think the real answer is no coaching experience whatsoever. Myron, what'd you think when you saw the headline?
Why are we turning to guys who, yes, played in the league, but don't have coaching experience?
The last time we were here, we spoke about a failed hire attempt in the SWAC at Bethune-Cookman with Ed Reed. And that video did very well. So once again, I want to thank y'all for all the engagement and the views and the subscriptions. Let's keep this thing going. Today, we're going to talk about two pro football, some would say Hall of Fame celebrities that have successfully landed HBCU coaching job. On the one hand, we have Michael Vick, who is the next head coach at Norfolk State University. On the other hand, we have DeSean Jackson, who is the next coach at Delaware State University. So the MEAC has made two splash hires. I'm going to explain to you why I'm high on one and I'm not so sure about the other, but I understand why both decisions were made. First of all, we have to talk about the overall health of the MEAC. In terms of football, the MEAC only has 6 football teams, and if we're going to be 100% honest, only 3 of them are, consistently relevant, right? You have Howard, who just went to the Celebration Bowl last year. You have South Carolina State, who's moving past the legacy of Coach Pugh and brought in the coach from Benedict, and his first year at South Carolina State won the MEAC and went to the Celebration Bowl. And then, of course, you have North Carolina Central, which has been probably the premier program in the MEAC. And if we're going to be 100% honest, they've been the top 3 HBCU football program for the last 5 years, if we're just being honest, right? The issue is that's not enough. In a 6-team conference, you can't have 3 teams that are completely irrelevant. What I will give Morgan credit for is Morgan has went about it the traditional way in terms of rectifying the situation. They went to Bowie State and took Bowie State's coach, and they've seen some progress. They finished 6-6 this year for the first time in over 20 years. They've had a 500 season. They beat Howard for the first time in, 5-6 years. So Morgan State is trending in the right direction. Their only issue is going to be they have to figure out their offense. South Carolina State's going to be a solid program, and so is North Carolina Central. The issue was Delaware State and Norfolk State. Norfolk State decided to make a splash and hire Michael Vick. This is a hire that I think I like. While there is a lack of coaching experience, there's a level of maturity that I do like. He spent the last several years as a broadcaster. He's a family man. He's a married man. He has a certain kind of brand, which I think will be good. On top of that, you have to understand Mike Vick was a quarterback. And particularly after all the drama that he had, and more specifically the last few years he was in Pittsburgh, he was more so like a leader, a player coach, a player leader in the locker room, a leader of men. So he does have the maturity, the knowledge of the game, and the leadership qualities that I think will benefit him. So I like the hire of Michael Vick at Norfolk State. I like the hire. Now, DeSean Jackson at Delaware State, that's a hire I'm not sure about, but I understand why it happened. If we're going to be 100% honest, Delaware State, for all intents and purposes, have been irrelevant as a football program. Completely irrelevant. I think in the last, 2 years, they've won a handful of games. They have been struggling. They have been doing bad. The product has not been good. They needed to do something to generate a buzz, to generate interest into the program. So while I don't see the same level of maturity and family man and experience being a leader in the locker room with DeSean Jackson that I see with Michael Vick, and that does worry me, at the same time, what else is Delaware State going to do? Honestly. Who would they have gotten if they wanted to go the traditional route? Let's just be honest. If they go the traditional route, would you take the Alabama A&M job or the Delaware State job? Would you take the Mississippi Valley State job or the Delaware State job? Now, once again, I'm not sure about the level of maturity and all these kinds of things with DeSean Jackson. But once again, it's Delaware State. They had to try something. And let's just keep it real, it's Delaware State, so the bar is going to be significantly lower. 5-7, 6-6 is a success. You take DeSean Jackson at Delaware State, they win 5 games, they win 6 games. That is a success. You take Michael Vick, a Virginia native. You put him at Norfolk State. They can win 6 games. They win 7 games. That is a success. At this particular point in time, it is about growing the profile of these programs. Because when you only have 6 teams, you cannot afford for teams to be irrelevant. You need Morgan to build on that 6-6 season. You need Howard to continually contend. You need Delaware State to be decent, if not just flat out interesting, and the same thing for Norfolk State. I understand why these hires were made, and hopefully they work out.